Morning, Nadine. How are you?
Good. Hi, Beata. How are you?
Good, I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, good. We
So
can
I
hear
can
each
hear
other.
you.
It's always a win. Always a win.
Yes. How was your week? Busy?
Busy. Always busy. Yeah, I worked a lot. I don't know if I told you I work at uni as well. When like high school kids want to go to uni,
Yeah.
we talk to them and take them around the campus, and yeah, it's
Good.
fun. Yeah,
Fun.
it's really fun. Yeah. So
Good.
I did that a lot because we're on break. And COVID is easing up
Oh,
now. So more people are out and more activities are resuming. Yeah. How about you? How was your week?
no, I'm very busy. We had, at work, we work normally from home for over 2.5 years.
Yes.
I'm with the company only 6 months because I changed. So they
Hmm.
work 2.5 years from home, and now they would like to have us all back. So they make all regulation inside because it's connected to aged care facility as well. So we're not allowed to go there. And yeah, we had a tour. They show us the computers, blah blah blah. Again, so now I have to go to work for 2 days. 2 days a week, I
Bugger.
have to.
Oh, no.
I could stay
No.
now a whole day, vacuum the house, put the washing machine,
Yes,
and
yes,
now I have
yes,
to dress and
yes.
I have to go. So I said,
Have to dress and that's the thing that's the most annoying, isn't it? And haven't you realized as women, like, we don't need to do that now? Men have been not doing it forever, but we still are expected. But through lockdown, like, we don't have to do that to be a competent worker.
absolutely. And it was for me when I started my work with them, it was so flexible. I could truly, morning one. How
Good
are
Oh,
you?
morning.
morning, morning, one. How are you? Nice to see you.
Good, good.
My husband was, we're talking about the last week. My husband was saying, you don't really work because I could manage to go for shopping, do my dinner, and even finish a little bit later my work, but
Yeah,
still
yeah,
work.
later. Yep, yep,
And now
yep,
I have to go to work.
yep, yep, yep.
So it's
Hopefully,
changing.
hopefully we're at the beginning of a big change. Do you like we don't feel that now
Hmm.
because you don't, it's like you look back and you can see the change. So we're
Yeah.
living it now. I think it will change because hopefully we've understood, but we're still kind of stuck. We're stuck in between a little bit, I guess. So hopefully we're at the start.
Stories and theories, and the whole internet is booming. What will happen? And oh my God, I said, I'm out. I don't want to know. We just, the old changes, politic, and even for yesterday, the Japanese one. Did you see the Japanese Prime Minister has been shot and he died? Did you see? Did you see the photos of him on the ground? It's no, it's no blood. It's no blood. It's nothing. He is dressed in white t-shirt, and they say he was shot and he is dead, and it's no blood. They say this is just everything fake. Online,
Yeah,
is
what can I say? Internet has a lot of things.
yeah,
So
Oh,
yes,
really? Oh, okay. Oh,
fake news.
internet's
well, I won't look at it then.
yeah. I cannot say that that thing is true or is a fake. Yeah, let's see, but yeah,
I've got from the Leo from Colombia. He said, "Don't even trust what's all news what coming from Colombia. You need to have a filter and really
yeah,
think, is this who posted something, if it's truth or not, or yeah, like
yeah, yeah. You have to confirm.
yeah.
Um, call that critical thinking. Is that what you call it? Critical thinking?
Mhm.
Um, it's a good way to look at everything when I have to look at a research paper or learn a new theory. I have to look at who wrote it and if they have a big, like a large body. of experience to be able to actually say what they're saying.
Okay.
So, it's a really good way. It's a good way to go through life, actually, because you don't have to accept everything on face value. Yeah, I think it's important to always question things, regardless of if they are right or wrong. I know I always go back to scientific evidence, and if it has a big body of scientific evidence, then a lot of people have, trained and worked very, very hard to find out those answers. So I believe that, we can trust certain people in the world more than others. How do you feel about that, Juan?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. Normally, but it's difficult because you know that even the newspaper, all of them has a predefined opinion because some of them are from conservative or Democrats or something like that. So it's difficult. It's
Well,
better to read independent journalists.
yeah, it's. I think it's changed quickly.
Yeah.
Um, I always go back because I study history. I always go back to the French Revolution whenever I think of journalism because it's meant to be for the people to keep the people correctly informed
Yeah.
of what the hierarchy is making decisions about, which will ultimately affect the people.
Yeah.
So that's where the impartiality comes from. And yeah, I think things on the internet now have turned from that more towards a monetary value of what information is being put out so that they get it's just the way it's designed.
Yep.
A newspaper has advertising, but it's that one moment in time, whereas I think the internet is just taking advantage, and it'll change like everything else in the world.
Yeah.
It'll change. Anyway, Joni, that was a very nice, interesting, good morning discussion, wasn't
Yes.
it?
Yes. There was
How has your week been, Juan? Have you been busy?
busy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last
Um,
week I couldn't attend because
is
of
it
my
the
baby.
baby?
It was with a
Yeah,
It was a little
yeah.
bit sick. So yeah.
Poor thing. Is he better?
Yeah, he's better. I think it's normal. It's not that now there is a lot of flu.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. Yeah.
Mm,
A friend of mine called it fluvid, half
yeah,
flu, half COVID. Yeah.
it's
Um,
crazy now.
so he's okay. I mean, did he get very, very sick?
No, it's something that just happened. It's it's normal. It's something that happen often because he's going to the daycare. So
Yeah, yeah. But they're always sick at daycare.
mm,
How do you? Anyway,
yeah,
all right. I'm just sending Joni a message, and then we'll start. Okay.
yeah. Johnny was with COVID last week, so I don't know if
Oh,
he's okay now, but he was with COVID.
And so he did have COVID. Okay.
Yeah, he had COVID.
Have you guys had COVID yet?
Yep.
Yep. What about you, Viota?
if I had COVID
Have you had COVID yet? No. Don't get it.
and I work with so many, in the aged care, like aged care community services, every second person had COVID and nothing for me, territory.
Don't get it. It's horrible.
It's horrible. Yeah, you had
Yes.
a couple of weeks ago, I remember.
That Saturday where I was
Yeah.
very like, ooh, I had it then. I didn't know. I didn't get tested until after I got off with you guys. But yeah, I had it then. Were you very sick, Juan?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I tidied up our course materials a little bit.
No, I haven't checked that one.
Okay, so if you look at our home page now, I've just put, I'll just get rid of my other pages so my internet works better.
Can you go further? As you record the session, are we able to access the recording, the record or the recording?
We do have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Okay, so you can subscribe to that or you can just go and look for it. I will,
Okay.
I need to send you that lady that I found because it's NAIDOC week. I have an Aboriginal lady that I think you might be
Wow.
interested in. And then I'll get the correct one because we have two different accounts. So I'll get the correct one that these ones go to and I'll put that on for you. So what I've done is just put the resource. So our idioms, they're the same. I just have been adding things to them. So they're just here. We don't need them to look at them every week. I also put what May posted on WhatsApp and tidied it up a little bit. There was some grammar and spelling,
Wow.
but these are just a better, I think a better way. So when you're writing your emails, it's a good way to think, oh, I need help. Hey guys, I require assistance. Can anyone come and help me? Things like that. This is a good one. I like this one. I didn't see the email, when you forget to reply to somebody.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, thank you. I don't know, maybe I missed it. I'm not sure. I'll go back and look at that. That's a good one, I reckon. So that's there for you to look at in your own time, and the idioms are there as well. And I added in the ones that we spoke of last week. So, Juan, when Australians move around the country, we sometimes will refer to each other from where they come from, which state they come from. So we went through the nickname for each person. So you from Western Australia you are a sand groper.
A what?
A sand groper.
A sand groper.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that one?
That is in idioms, Aussie idioms.
Yeah, but I haven't seen because I'm seeing Victoria, Queensland, New South Wales, Western Australia. Sand groper. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Sand groper. Okay, that's
okay. So
good to know. Yeah.
If you went around Australia and met somebody else from another state, they'd be like, "Hey, here's the sand groper, guys."
Yeah.
That's how we would use it. And look, I think work is very. I wondered if it was appropriate to talk about it, but I think in Australia it's so casual. Like we would refer. I know I've worked with people and we've called them cane toads for years because they come from Queensland. Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Cane toad.
Okay, and we can keep adding on to that. So when you guys find them in your week, let me know and I can keep putting them into this list.
Okay.
Great.
All right, but what we'll do today is, Johnny is coming.
Good. Morning, John.
Hey, Journey.
He can hear.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning. Morning.
How are
Sorry.
you?
Good morning, Journey.
Sorry,
How are
I'm
you?
late.
That's okay. How are you feeling?
That's good, but I'm still coughing.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
was all good. This is only what is that, 6 days already? 5th of 6. Yeah, 6 days.
It's still horrible, isn't it?
Uh what is it? It look like a normal flu,
Okay.
but the
Okay.
they sniff my joint here, one
Mm,
of them,
mm.
but I don't have like the horrible symptom. It's just like a normal flu, but I can like a breathe, something like that. You block the nose.
Yeah.
Your throat is a little bit sore.
Yeah.
It's only that one, but it's keep going. This all the day. It's something like that. It's just knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
knowing and
yeah,
just
it's
going, well, I'm locked down again.
yeah. Until tomorrow. I still locked down until tomorrow. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I'm sorry you've had it. It's not nice, but it's done now.
Yeah, no, that's the
Yeah.
I
And
know
I'm glad,
who know that one as well before.
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yes.
I'm glad you're here today
Yeah, that's right.
because
Yeah, I try to do that one. But sometimes if you hear that I'm coughing, just
that's okay.
yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I can always put you on mute if I want. So,
That's so good.
okay. So we are going to do what we were meant to do last week. Beata and I
Yeah.
ended up talking about just things she had to deal with. Okay. Hang on. What did you put in the chat? Was that you, Beata? I found a pen. This pen is my finding.
Finding, or is this S on the end, or is just finding? It depends.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Findings.
Yeah. No, we wouldn't say in this case,
Okay.
in regard to findings, we would not say that.
Okay.
We would just say, I found a pen. Here's the pen.
Okay.
Findings is more a body of something. So I did research and these are my findings.
Okay.
Okay, I interviewed 20 staff, 20 new staff, and these are my findings. 50% were experienced, 50% were not experienced. These are my findings, but
Okay.
I found a pen.
And
Yeah.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. I wanted to.
Okay, so modals of necessity and obligation. Who can tell me what necessity means? Nobody? Juan, would you like to try and tell me what necessity means?
Ah, but I'm just thinking in some definition like a dictionary, something that is needed.
Yeah, perfect. Something that is needed, not so much addiction. It can be, I guess, but it's a necessity. Breathing is a necessity. We have to breathe. Babies need love. It's a necessity that babies have love. So it's also a necessity to do certain chores at work, certain tasks, certain obligations. Something. What we're going to change these words into? It's something that we have to do. Okay, an obligation is just another. It's a little bit different, but it's in the same idea that it's something. And I when my son was a baby and Juan's baby and your children, we are obligated to care for our children. Okay, or if I say that I am going to prepare, what can I say? Join a certain team at work or join a project. If I say I'm going to do that, then I'm obligated. If I say I'm going to see my friend on the weekend, on Saturday morning, I'm obligated to do that. Okay. So, does anyone remember what a modal is? So our modals are words that come before the main verb, and they give it extra meaning. Okay, so remember, a verb is always something that we do. A verb is our action, so we need to give our verb extra meaning to show how important our obligations are, or to show how important or how necessary something is. I have to care for my baby. I have to go to work. So care is a verb. I have to care for my baby. I have to go. Go is the verb. I have to go to work. So the ones that we're looking at here are must, have to, and have got to. So we're going to use them in slightly different ways. So this is important. This is our pattern up here with these modals. So we have the modal plus the base verb. Okay, everyone can see this sheet, can't they?
Yeah.
Yep, yep. Sometimes my other students, I can be doing this for 10 minutes and then they say, oh, I can't see, teacher, no see, no see. So this is what to remember with any modal. Modals are always followed by a base verb. So a base verb is a verb with no ending. So I can say I am running. That is not a base verb because it has ing. But the base verb is run. I will run to work, or I am running to work. So the base verb changes with the ing. Okay, so we have a modal and a base verb. So in this case, these are more words that mean the same sort of thing to necessity and obligation. It creates the extra meaning. And these are the common ways to express necessity and obligation. Now, remember, it's the present or the future. It's not the past. We're not talking about something we've already done. This is something in the future. I must get to work at 9 a.m. today. Now, just a little thing with modals. Must is a true modal because it's by itself. It's one word. Have to and have got to are modal expressions. So a little bit like the idioms when there's more than one word. You know, they're an expression, they're a phrase. They mean, all those words together mean something else than the word by itself. Because we can use have other ways. We can use got other ways, and we can use got to in other ways. But together, they mean something to make that verb. I like to use the phrase work harder. It makes the verb work harder for us when we're talking or writing. Okay,
I have
So-
a question there.
Of course.
That every time, or let me say in a different way, it haven't been clear for me when to use must and when to you have to, because I don't know which of them is for obligation and which of them is for necessity.
Which of them, say that again, Juan, which of them is?
For necessity or which of them is for obligation.
Okay, so that's what we will do today. That's
Okay.
exactly what we will do today.
Yeah.
So yeah, remember they're not exactly the same. They're in the same world of meanings, but they're not exactly the same. So we're going to see how to use those individual phrases and modals. So we've got them here in this table, but let's just look at how they've used them in our first examples. You must take the test. She must take the test. So the verb is take, and it's a base verb. So this modal, as it says up here, is a true modal. So we can just use must and take together. So she must. With must, you have a choice, a little bit of choice. So I must go to the gym. Okay, that doesn't mean you will go to the gym, but it's important that you must go to the gym. It's important for your health. It's important to meet your friend there. It's important to use your membership. I must go to the gym. But if you have to, I have to go to the gym, it means you're already obligated to go to the gym. That's where, like, you must take care of your baby, okay? But like, so for example, Juan, if you couldn't do this course every week, you could say, I can't make that time because I have to take care of my baby at that time. Your partner may always be away at that time, or the baby doesn't sleep at that time. So you have to look after your baby. Or like last week, it was a little bit different. So you must. Today I must look after. I must look after. Must is not as common as have to, but it's you have a slight choice. I mean, if one was able to get a babysitter, or like, I know the baby was sick, but if one was able to get a babysitter, then you could come to the class. But let's say you tried to get a babysitter. You'd be like, oh, I must look after the baby today. But when you say you have to, you always have to. That's something. I have to go to work every day. If you're somebody that runs late to work, like me, I must get to work on time. Okay? All right, so you must take the test, she must take the test. Exactly the same thing. You have to take the test. This is how we use it when we're talking with our pronouns. Okay, she, he are pronouns. She has to take the test. Okay, so your daughter Beata, when she was in high school, you would say to your husband, where is she today? She has to take a test today. If she was a bit naughty, you might say she must take her test today, going, oh, I hope she's taking a test today. And you have got to, exactly the same. It's just used in a slightly different way in regard to, I guess, the verb that we're about to use. I have got to go shopping. It's a little bit like when I use got to, it's usually to make it even more clearer. I might be talking to a friend and I'll say, "Oh, I've got to go. You know, I'm chatting away, but I have an appointment. I've got to go now." Or I've got to get dinner before 5 o'clock because everyone will be home at 6. Okay. But if you just say to your friend, "Oh, look, I have to go in 10 minutes, but we can still sit here and chat." Does that make sense? Yeah, it's just your obligation or your necessity is even more important when we use have got to. I have got to. Okay, so let's look at our chart. And these are this breaks down our pattern. So we've got our modal, we've got must not, and must. And these are the ways that we'll be using them. This is a positive way, a negative way, and how we use it in a question. An example is, you must pass the test. He must exercise. Okay, so that's pretty important. You must pass the test. But it still doesn't mean you will pass the test. It just means the teacher is saying you have to pass the test. But the student is saying, "Oh, I must pass the test to be able to pass the course," but they may not. And the same example is when I use for the gym. He must exercise. The doctor is saying he must exercise, but it's still his choice. And so that's in the positive. With the negative, we just add not. This is, you must pass the test, you must not fail. Exactly the same thing. You must pass the test, you must pass the fail. It's just, we're switching. We're just going from positive to negative phrasing. And the negative of he must exercise, the doctor is saying he must not smoke. You could also say exactly the same, he must give up smoking. Because the verb is not and fail together, and not smoke together. And in a question, must I take the test? I mean, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? Because the student is saying they don't really want to. You know, they're about to change must to have to. They're hoping they don't have to. And must he exercise? So this guy's wife knows how hard it is to get her husband to the gym. So he's saying, must he exercise? And the doctor's going, yes, he has to if he doesn't want a heart attack. Okay, now this is common. This is common. We use must. Common must is less common than have to, but it is, this way of saying must is common. If you said to a colleague, I must not be late for the meeting, that would make sense. We just don't say to people in a casual way, you know, must he exercise? It's just that little bit extra formal. Still makes sense. I would use this in a bit of a joking way, you know, must I? And then, do you guys remember what a contraction is? Yep, Juan. What's a contraction?
Hey, just that abbreviation that you are doing with apostrophe.
Yep. So must not, we squash them together. I mustn't smoke. I mustn't fail. once again, it's a little less common. In that case, if we were talking about a test, I would say I can't fail. It's not an option to fail. Probably not, I mustn't fail. Or if we're thinking about must, that's not so much that strong obligation. I hope I don't fail would be a bit more common to use in that way. And we don't put a contraction when we ask a question. Mustn't he exercise? Mustn't it? We don't say that. And these are all strong, as in they're clear. Okay, we're not making them sound confusing to the listener. And as I said before, they're slightly formal. Must is slightly formal, and this is even more formal and less used. All right. So we're going to go to have to. These are modal expressions. The positive example here, you have to pass the test. Like I said before, she has to pass the test to be able to pass the course. He has to exercise to be able to, so he doesn't have a heart attack. The opposite, you do not have to take the test. So to pass the course, this test, it doesn't matter. You can miss the test. He does not have to exercise, which is a bit silly, but you might say that to, a teenager who's already running around. He does not have to exercise today. He's already ran to the shops and back. Do I have to take the test? Question, that's pretty obvious. Do I have to take the test? Yes, you do. To pass the course, you have to take the test. Does he have to exercise? Yes, he has to exercise because he's very unwell. His health is not good. All of these are common. This is the most common when we use our contraction. Australians love to, oh, sorry, there's not a question, but I naturally said it. He does, this one here, sorry. He doesn't have to exercise. You don't have to take the test, okay? That's more common, like it says here. And this one's only weak because it's included in the, with the contraction, but it's also, you would use the positive way first. You'd refer to that, if somebody asks you the question, does he have to exercise? He has to exercise. Or in this case, you would probably just say no. You could say yes, but we would go, these essentially are just flipped, okay, which is why they're weak. We would go to the positive first. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay, any questions on those two? And once again, they're formal and informal. That's where the contraction comes into it. That makes it a little bit less formal. I don't know why it has formal and informal. I would say this is the most common.
Yeah,
with the
Nadine, I got a question, Nadine. I mean,
Yep.
sorry, that's another coffee. Yeah, I mean, that's like a must and the have to. Must is look like you said it before. It's like only for the formal, right? And
yeah, must. Yeah.
Yeah, and have to, we can use a formal and informal.
Correct. Yeah, correct. So must stays formal.
Yeah.
If you were at work and you were having a casual conversation with with a cane toad, The others know what I mean.
Yeah.
Someone from Queensland, I was
Yeah.
talking about nicknames. So if you were having a casual conversation, you
Uh-huh.
wouldn't sit there and go, I must get my report done.
Uh-huh.
You would more likely
I have to,
say
yeah.
something like, oh, look, I have to go in and get my report done now.
So yeah, that's why I mean then when we when we have a chat with the friends, something like that, even like in Queensland, it's look like for me we never use the mask in our
Not so
conversation.
much, not
Yeah,
so
in our
much.
conversation, yeah.
No, we can use it. I mean, you can use it in to emphasize how important that
Yep.
task is. You can say, but then it becomes more a colleague work conversation than a casual conversation. So you can have a meeting with your boss in the morning and you go through your list and you're like, oh, I must get this done today. I've been putting it off for a week, and the inspector's coming tomorrow. I must get this done. So that's your priority. But you don't say that when you're at the pub with your mates or your co-workers. Saying, you don't just sit there and go, I must cut the grass tomorrow. You would be more likely to say, oh, I've got to mow the lawn, you know. Does that
Okay.
make sense? You
Yeah.
just don't use must in a casual. You can, and it will make sense, but it's not something that we would normally do when we're just talking to friends or having, casual conversations with co-workers. But like I said before, just remember that must is referring to this like the necessity, because must gives us a little bit of choice. Okay, it's necessary.
Yeah.
I probably didn't use a good example before with the I must get the report done. You're saying that to yourself. I must do this. It's important to do this. It still doesn't mean you're going to get it done. Okay, there's still that little bit of choice there. But I have to go to work so I can get paid. Is much more clear and much more. It comes back to this word, the obligation. You are obligated to go to work because you have a family to feed, you have rent to pay, you have signed a contract. Okay, so for that reason, we just don't use must in our casual conversation. And this is your clue. It's saying here that it's formal.
So in the report, I mean, we better use the must rather than have to.
No, it's not that you have to use it. It's more that you're emphasizing. So what we're doing is these words give extra meaning to the main verb. Okay, so I have to write the report. Write is our verb. Okay, it doesn't make sense if I said I write the report. I need to say something before the verb to actually make it do its thing. So I need to say, I will write a report. I'm writing a report, means I'm doing it right now. I wrote a report. I did it in the past. Okay, I don't ever say I write a report. I can say I write reports at work. Okay, but in this example with modals of necessity and obligation, we're learning how to use these properly in relation to a base verb. It's another way of making our verb have extra meaning. It's like I keep saying, it's making our verb work harder. It's making it do its job.
Mm.
Okay, so when I use the expression must in regard to that report, what I'm doing, I am doing using a formal way, but I'm telling myself that I must write that report today because it's important. I have been busy all week and it's due tomorrow. So that it's like if I've got a list on my job list, I've got 3 tasks. Normally I would write, I'd do this one first, this one, and this one. But in this case, we're going to put the report up here. And that it's just another way to use must. It's not the only way to say that.
Okay.
It's just emphasizing it for you because, as I said, must gives you that little bit of choice. I must go to the gym. Doesn't mean you're going to the gym. But if you've arranged to meet a friend at the gym, then that's more of an obligation. Okay, I still may not, but
Yeah.
I have to go to the gym because
I
I
have to.
told Cherie I would go to the gym at 5 o'clock. Okay, I
Okay.
have to go to the gym. You can say I have to write that report today, like I have to.
Mm.
That makes it even more of an obligation. But you're saying to yourself, I must, I must get this in. It's like when I have my assignments due and they're late, I'm like, Nadine, you must sit at your desk and write that assignment tonight. I've been putting it off all week. I must do it. I'm saying it to myself. Still doesn't mean I will.
Yeah. Okay.
But if I was talking to my professor, I would say to him or her, look, I know that I've been late with this assignment and I know I have to do it by the end of the semester. Does that help, Joni?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the.
Yeah,
That's
okay, we're
the.
going to go through examples anyway, which is where you always do better, so don't worry. So we'll quickly do got to. I have got to. Australians use this a lot. It doesn't sound very nice like the others, but that's what we do in Australia, don't we? So we do not use it in a negative. We don't say I haven't, we can say I haven't got to go to school today, but it's better to say use it always in the positive. You have got to take, it's correct, I guess, in the positive. You have got to take the test. He has got to exercise. These are basically the same. It's just giving it an extra kick, giving the verb an extra kick up the bum to say, like, you have to take that test. This is it. This is the last test. If you don't take this test, this is your last chance. You won't pass the course. All right, you'll be out of school. You have got to take the test today. He has got to exercise. No clothes fit him anymore. He's got diabetes. He's over 110 kilos now. He has got to exercise. It's getting desperate. And this is what I was saying when we speak. We use this a lot. It got isn't a very nice way of saying things. When I was a child, I used to get in trouble for saying got. And that was my grandparents telling me to not say got, because they would prefer I say probably must, or I have to, or I need to, something like that. But it's okay. It's more common. It's fine. If you say I've got to leave now and catch my bus, that nobody will go, oh, he doesn't speak very well, does he? All right. And we use the contractions. I've got to, she's got to. And it's only slightly less strong. I don't really agree with that. I think it's actually stronger because we use it when we speak. Probably when you're writing, you would want to use have to. That's probably the only difference, I think, when it comes to being strong. And that's where I reiterate, it's the informal, because it's the speaking. Okay, so Joni, when you are with your mates at work, this is the one that you would want to use the most.
Okay.
Okay, it still means you're using the obligation before you're using the necessity. You know, you're saying you're at the pub and you're saying, oh, look, guys, I've got to go now. You know, I've got to pick my son up from soccer. I've got to go.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's when I was in Melbourne, they said that mostly we use that one, got to go or have to. It's only that. That's why we never use a mask.
Yeah. You just remember you can, but it's not common.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah. Okay. So this explains it a little bit more. You guys can read that yourself. I think we will get straight into our practice, but I would like to. So Joni, just you read this later if you have time.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will read that one.
It'll only take you a minute, but just go over that, you guys, just as a revision. Okay, it'll make more sense after we've done the it's everything I've said essentially. All right. But these worksheets come from the US, but these are very, to me, more Australian than not, which is how I speak. And this is what Australians like to do. We change have to when we speak. This is when we're talking with pronunciation. Have to. I have to meet my friend tomorrow. I have to go to work. All right. And same with gotta. It's not a contraction. It's just a pronunciation. And that's very, very, very Australian to do that. I'm sure if I really listened to more people say this, I could pick how they're making it even shorter. Got it. Yeah, actually, no. Gotta go, mate. And all right, so let's do our exercises. So here's our first example. We're just changing it. This is simple. We must arrive to class on time. We have to arrive to class on time. So what's number 2, Beata? We're changing it to must or have to.
I must start concentrating harder in class.
Yes, you do, Beata.
Yes.
What is number 3, Juan? So we're changing has to.
Number 3, she has to give the book back to the teacher.
Sorry?
She must have, you know.
No, she must give the book back to the teacher.
She must. Okay, she must.
Okay. Yep. And Joni, number 4.
My friends have to get. Is it have to get more sleep at night.
Yeah, we're just using must or have to.
Ah, okay.
Also have to.
So yeah, my friend
My
has
friend
to.
has to. My
It
friend has to get.
Has to, yeah,
Has to get more. Yeah.
Yeah, so we change have to has
Okay. My
because
friend
we're
has to get.
talking about our friend.
Yeah, that's for people.
If it was you, if you would say I
Have
have to get more sleep. And Beata, number 5.
Our teacher has to prepare us for the standardized test. Standardized?
Perfect. Yep.
Standardized.
It's standardized test.
Standardized test.
Yeah. Do you understand what that word means?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And number 6, please, Juan.
My classmates must participate in the conversation class.
Perfect. Journey.
Mr. Jones must to. Oh, okay. Mr. Jones must start exercising.
Yep. So just remember that must is the modal,
Yeah.
and has to, because it has the to on the end,
Yeah.
is the modal expression. All right. So they're the same. You're just swapping one for the other. Think of has to or have to as one word.
One word.
Yeah. And number 8, please, Beata.
Yuka has to take vitamins every day.
Yeah, perfect. And 9, here, 9, Juan.
He has to learn.
Mhm.
Perfect. Number 10, Joni.
They have to finish the report on time.
Perfect. All right, number 2. So we're going to add this time must not or don't have to. So we're using a contraction this time. We're using the negative must not, and we're using the negative have to, don't have to, with our verb. Okay, number 1, you can see that. So our verb is forget. I must not forget to lock up when I leave. So what would number 2 be, Beata?
I look at this exercise before. For me, both, I would say my father must not. Or,
Yep, that's perfect.
okay.
That's exactly what it is. My father must not eat junk food every day. My father, if we say my father, we'd say doesn't have to.
Yeah.
We wouldn't use don't. My father doesn't have to eat junk food every day because it's bad for his heart. That does not make sense, does
No.
it?
Yeah.
No. So it's perfect what you said. And even though it's more formal to say, that's where, a bit like when I was explaining about the must write the report or the assignment, I'm talking about me. So we're talking like your father must not eat junk food every day. You know, it's up to him.
Yeah, that's still a choice.
But he must not eat junk food every day. You can say if you were if your father was quite elderly and you haven't, you're caring for your father and you swapped over with a friend or a nurse or another, sister or brother, you might say, my father must not eat junk, and then they would not give him junk.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
In different, I would say my father shouldn't eat.
Yeah, you can say that. That's fine. Yeah, my father shouldn't eat. That's perfectly fine. But at the moment, we're just working with 3. But no, that's perfect, Beata, and that's good because you're seeing other options of you correctly expressing yourself in English. All right, number 3, please, Juan.
Let me try. You don't have to read the entire article if you don't want to.
Perfect. Excellent. Number 4, please, Joni.
She's lucky. She doesn't have to finish her homework before going out at night.
Yeah, we can say that, or we probably, if we're just using must not, and don't. We don't have doesn't here. So we probably would say she must.
Must not finish.
Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong.
Is it?
She must not finish her homework. Don't finish
She
her
doesn't
homework,
have to.
young lady.
She doesn't have to. To
Yeah,
finish.
she yeah, they shouldn't put this, should they?
Yeah.
Because you want to say she don't have to. Number 5, please, Beata.
I would say we don't have to.
Perfect. We don't have to plan our trip right now.
We don't have.
Juan, number 6.
Number 6, the CEO. The CEO. Okay, the CEO doesn't have to lie to the stakeholder. Oh, no, but it should be more stronger, no?
Yeah. Must not.
Must not.
Yeah. So this is a good example of using it in a formal way. And like you said, being stronger. So the CEO must not lie to the shareholders. And the CEO obviously, you know, maybe the CEO has been lying to the shareholders. So that's where we can use must. It's still the CEO's choice. Okay, that's where it goes to necessity. It is an obligation not to lie, but it's also a necessity because the the shareholders will be able to see from the reports. It doesn't matter if he lies or not. He just, like you said before, Beata, he shouldn't lie. It's not okay, but he must not lie to the shareholders. That's his job, not to. And Joni, number 7.
I think we use the must. We must not be late for the morning meeting.
Perfect. And that's stronger, like Juan said, it has to be. You feel that it has to be a stronger phrase.
Yep.
And once again, we're still using must as a choice because you can still be late for the morning meeting. All right. But it's strong because it's must not.
Yeah.
Number 8, please, Beata.
I would say the strong as well. You must not apologize. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah, I think we can use both.
Both.
Yeah, I think both are perfectly good in this situation. Yeah, if you think of talking to a small child, you would probably say, you don't have to.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to, sweetheart. It's okay. It wasn't your fault. If you were talking to somebody in a work situation and you were the boss and you were emphasizing, or sorry, maybe reverse that. If you're a coworker talking to another coworker and you were giving them advice, you must, be like, you must not apologize. Make sure you don't apologize. It wasn't your fault that nobody ordered paper.
Yeah.
But, something like that.
I think it's better to use
any
the don't have. Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, Joni, say again.
I think the latest one better to use the don't have to, right?
Yeah, it is better. It is better, but I can see being in that workplace and I want to emphasize because it's stronger in that situation to my coworker. I'm really passionate that they don't apologize. I want them to feel good to make that choice. You must, I recently had trouble with a supervisor on a placement. And, he was just an absolute asshole. And I didn't apologize, even though he kept saying things were my fault. I wasn't apologizing. So my friend said to me, you must not, remember, you must not. She was very clear about not apologizing. Does that make sense, Joni?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can use it both ways very easily in that way, that situation. All right, number 3, fill in the missing short answers and questions below. All right, Beata, number 1.
One, does she have to register for the course beforehand? Yes, she does.
Yep. Okay. So we're taking our modals and we're giving them another form to suit. So a bit like we were nearly doing with the previous examples when we were starting to say things like shouldn't and has to. Okay, we're giving them a different form. So our short answers on this side. What's number 2, Juan?
No, you haven't.
No, it's do
Don't.
we have to bring food to the party? We're looking at this word here. We would say no.
No,
No, you
we
don't.
we don't.
That's right. No,
No,
we
we
don't. And the have to is already in the question.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. And number 3, please, Joni.
Do the children have to be careful near the swimming pool? No, they don't. Yes, they yes.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Maybe don't take your baby to Joni's house for a swim, Juan.
There's a big fence, so nobody can enter that.
Yeah, definitely,
Children
definitely.
and water.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, especially in Australia.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Number 4, Beata.
Does my friend have to finish her homework before going out? Yes, he does.
Yep, perfect. Or yes, she does because it's a her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, her. Yes.
Or probably use they. Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah, but I wanted to say yes, they do.
Yes. Number 5, please, Juan.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to use it in the form of the questions. Like we have the questions which included the have to. Joni, what's number 1? So sorry, number 2, Joni, but we've got our example up here. So
Okay.
does she have to buy a new dress for the party? This is the question that we've decided because our answer is no, she doesn't. And this is why we're using the short answers and questions, okay? Because a full answer to this question is no, she doesn't have to buy a new dress for the party, but we don't need to repeat the full sentence. All right, so what do you think the question would be to this answer?
Do they have to remind the kid about the field trip?
Perfect, easy. Beata, number 3.
Yes, he does. He has to tell his boss when he goes away. Does he? Does he have to tell his boss?
Yep, perfect. When he's finished the report.
When he's finished.
We need to put that into our question.
Okay, so
Because
does he need? No, does he have to? Does he have to? Tell his boss when he finished the report.
Yeah, that's it. We need to say the full sentence so this makes sense. Otherwise, it could be, does he have to go to Queensland tomorrow? And you're just going, yes, he does.
Yeah.
For anything. All right. Number 4, please, Juan.
Give me a minute. No, you don't. Do you have to create an account in order to access the website?
Yep,
An
perfect.
account.
Yep. And the answer is no, you don't.
Yep. Sorry, guys, I gotta go.
Oh, no, you got to go. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Try and just go over this again,
Yes,
Juan.
I will try.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the end. You've got it. You'll get it. And just read this. This is just revision of everything that I said, okay?
Yep, I will try to repeat the previous one, the past participle, plus this one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. When you
Awesome.
have time.
Yep. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Okay,
Bye.
Han.
See
Yeah.
you. See you next
Everyone.
week, Juan. Okay.
Do you have?
All right. So, Joni,
So yeah, what is the last one?
last one. Yep.
Do you have to buy them a gift?
Perfect.
Okay.
Excuse me.
No.
And
You-
all right. So we're going to do some writing. We've got 10 minutes left.
Okay.
So we've got, okay, we've got eight questions. That should be fine. That it should only take you about 5 minutes. Now, Joni, hey, are you, Beata, have you printed?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you're looking at Joni, you're just looking at the screen, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay. Just
Yeah.
looking at the
So
screen.
I'll make it, are you on your phone today or your
No,
screen?
in the laptop.
Okay, cool.
In
So
the
I
laptop,
will
yeah.
make it a bit smaller so
Yeah,
you
okay.
can see all the questions. Is this okay?
Yeah, I can see that. Still good. Still
Okay,
good.
all
Yep.
right. So I'll just give you 5 minutes.
Okay.
Don't worry too much if you don't think of it quickly. Like just write what you can. All right.
Mhm.
Nadine, I posted a question on the
In the
chat
chat.
now.
Okay, thank you. I'll look at that while you
Yeah.
write.
Thank you.
Do you understand? Sorry, what you have to do? We're just unscrambling the sentence.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is our example. You must wear business attire at the office because these are the clues. Okay, so we're just changing those clues into a proper sentence. So do that for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How you going, guys? Finished?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, what you got for number 1, Beata? Sorry, number 2.
You have to check the schedule every morning.
Perfect. And what did you get, Journey?
You must familiarize yourself with the procedural manual.
Yeah, you must
Yeah.
familiarize yourself with the procedure
Procedural
manual.
Yeah.
And number 4, Beata?
You have to send this form to the human resource department.
Perfect. Number 5, Journey?
What is it? You have to go to. You have to go to the client to get. You have to get to the client to get the member temporary visa.
This one's a bit confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what we do, if we put the in front of clients,
You have to go. Is it? You have to go to
the
client.
clients,
Okay. The client. The client
clients
have
have
to go. Okay.
got to remember
To get. Yeah.
to get
A temporary
temporary.
visa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have you here.
I would say
No.
you have got to remember to get clients a temporary visitor's pass. Like I talked to the colleague, hey, you have to remember to get clients a temporary visitor pass.
Yeah, you're right, Beata. Because this is just thank you, students. So yeah, an employee is at an orientation for their new job. So you have got to remember. Yeah, you have got to remember to get clients a temporary visitor's pass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. When I said it was a bit confusing, I was confused.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, please, Beata. Thank you, Beata, for correcting that.
You're welcome. You do not have to shut down your computer every night.
Very good, perfect. And number 7, Joni?
You have got to clean up your workstation before you leave.
And what's the last one, Beata?
You cannot take your computer home at night.
Yeah. Okay, so it says up here, this is one thing I did read. Use contractions wherever possible. So number 8, we can change can't, cannot to can't.
Yep. Okay.
So you can't take your computer home at night, and that's what we would say in that case. We cannot is too formal. Yes, Jenny?
But they don't have like a have to, have got to or must. They have cannot.
No, have turns to haven't.
No, I mean the word, we need to put the word must, have to, or have got to. Number 8, there is no either that word, the word we have.
You can't take your computer home at night.
No, you know what I mean? It's like we are exercising, but they have.
Yeah, no, you're
must,
right.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
right, but it doesn't. No, we're not going to. You have got to take your computer. You must, have to, or got to. Okay, you haven't got to take your computer home at night.
You don't have to take your computer at night.
You don't have to take your computer home at night. So you're changing that.
Yeah, because we're not learning about the cannot, we're learning about the must.
I want one of the top one.
Yeah. So you're changing that to one of these.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm going to step in there and say, you don't need to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even though you're right, Joni, we are learning about those and we're
Mhm.
trying to change them. But this is perfect with a contraction. You can't take your computer home at night. It's easier. Remember, in Australia, we like to make everything easier and shorter.
Contraction. Yeah.
So let's use this as a bit of a remembering lesson. A bit like how Beata was starting to say shouldn't.
Mhm.
Okay, it's more natural to say in Australia, you can't take your computer home. You or you must not take your computer home. I guess in that case we want to emphasize, like it's in the workplace, it's illegal to take the computer home. It could be like a warning if you
Yeah.
took the computer home. Yeah, so you must not, bit like when I was saying about not apologizing, making it very clear, you must not take the computer home. But if I said to someone, you can't, it means you're not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. You can't take the computer home. Does
But
that help, Joni?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And if we
Yeah,
say we don't have to, that's meaning we can't take it if you want to work from home, or we can, or we can't.
That's right. Yeah. It's like if you said to your boss, like, I'm learning a new skill, I'll do it at home when I get home. And your boss says, oh, you don't have to. You know, you can do it when you come back to work tomorrow. You don't have to. But I really, really would prefer you to use can't here. To me, that is much more clearer than these ones. You can't. And it's actually, it's making this verb take very clear. You can't take it. All right. If you were at a shop and there was no FPOS, you can't pay by FPOS. It's just not possible. Yeah. How is that, Joni?
Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Beata, we'll just quickly answer your question. Let me know how you went, or let me know how did you go. Just forget the bottom one.
So let me know how you went, correct?
Yeah.
Is it on the end of my email if I want to know if somebody tried to find or do something for me? So let me know how you went, correct?
Yeah, I'm just going to type it back to you in the chat. Yeah, so let me know how you went. So if your colleague was going out of the office and they were doing a seminar at a new business, you would clearly say, let me know how you went. Okay, now you can also say that if, oh, sorry, I've got to post it. I always do that with chat. You can also say to a new employee, or your boss is saying to you, go and input that data on our system, which you've just had some short training for, and he or she is saying, right, off you go and do what I just showed you. Let me know how you went. That means let me know how you went when you finished. Okay, so he wants you to come back to him and say, yeah, I think that was okay. Or, look, I just had problems with this column here. Can you explain that to me again? Now, I do want to tell you that because you insinuated with the go, what we would write is just swap the went with go. So let me know how you go. And they're pretty much the same. I guess with went, in my mind, if I use the example of your colleague going to a new office to do a seminar, a new business, you could talk to them tomorrow or next week. If someone said to me, let me know how you go, it would probably be more to that last example I used, like the data input would be a bit of a shorter time. So it's a brand new task that he's just showed you, he's just taken you through the steps. And then he knows that's going to take you roughly, 10 minutes to start doing, maybe an hour to complete. So let me know how you go. I'm just sitting here if you've got any questions. It's a bit more immediate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So far now, we actually have our revision week next week.
Mm-hmm.
If there is anything specific you want to go over, put it in our WhatsApp. But what I will do is I'd like to try and, I guess, catch up, but also maybe just test you a little bit with some things. So I might put everything we've done all into the one. Like I won't design a full worksheet, but I might ask you some questions that incorporate a few different things that we've learned. Yeah.
Combine
and also,
that.
Sorry?
Combine that for the whole.
Yeah, combine like one rule with another and try to get you to work out how to use them both together. And the other thing that we've already done, and we haven't done it exactly, I guess, each week, but when we do the conversations about like getting hired and we go through, we have the verbal conversations, and that exercise where we match things up to the meaning, I'd like you to think of that as new words. So I might do a short test and say, what does this word mean? Now, you can have the materials in front of you, obviously, it's not a test, but I just want you to tell me what they mean, okay? So I might say, Beata, what does, negotiate mean? And you say it means this. All right, so just think there's going to be two different things, the meaning of those words and then a combination of our grammar. All right, and by no means it's not a test. I just want you to practice it a bit more, and then I have a chance to see how you're going, and I can correct you and we can revise while we're doing that. Yeah, cool?
Okay, cool. That's good.
Great, thank you.
You're very welcome. It was lovely to see you, Joni. I hope you continue getting better. You look well. You don't look like you're sick.
But it's not 100% yet.
No, I know. Bloody stupid COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Beata, I'll post
Weekend, guys.
I'll post that lady for you, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the lady. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye, Beata. Bye, Joni.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya.